Hello everyone, welcome to the Storyist. A lot of people make us believe that loving someone for the rest of his or her life is possible. For most of us who haven't experienced it yet, it might seem that loving someone forever is impossible. We often mistake love with attraction to a physical appearance. We always think that when we see someone as handsome or beautiful, we automatically believe that we are in love. But in reality, love is so much deeper than that. Love is seeing beyond someone's flaws. Love is finding out that someone is not perfect, and loving them despite that. Love is not just about accepting or tolerating one's imperfections, but loving them as well. Love is looking beyond what you see outside, and knowing that in the years or decades to come, all of the outer beauty will fade, but you are still ready to love them despite the time that has passed. Today, I will be sharing with you a story about a selfish husband who seemed to have forgotten about the true meaning of love when he forced his wife to change her appearance to look more appealing for him. However, she made him regret his decision. Stay until the end of the video to see what happened. Bernadette was once a very beautiful woman. She used to walk along the hallway and make every head turn for her. She was often the apple of everyone's eye. Whenever she was at parties or get-togethers, 70% of the time, the guests' attention would be on her. She was effortlessly catching attention without it even being her intention. She was the type of woman everyone would love to get. She was tall, blessed with a goddess's physique, and showered with a pretty face enhanced by her long golden locks. She looked like a princess straight out of a fairy tale, and everyone wanted her to notice them. But during her late 20s, there was only one man whom his attention was drawn to. It was Marcus. Marcus used to be a janitor at a legal firm, and Bernadette used to be an intern there when they first met. Sparks flew instantly when they first saw each other. And even though Marcus was just a janitor, this did not hinder Bernadette from falling in love with him. The two immediately started dating, and despite her friends' and family's disapproval, she still continued being with Marcus. Marcus, on the other hand, could not fathom how lucky he was. He was just a janitor, and now, the hottest and prettiest girl in the office was her girlfriend. He told himself he couldn't ask for more. But we all know how people are. They will always ask for more. As years went by, Bernadette finished her studies and internship, and soon had been absorbed by the same legal firm. Meanwhile, Marcus was still a janitor. Marcus started feeling pity over himself when he realized that his girlfriend was a successful paralegal now, and he was still a janitor. Because of this, Bernadette felt more pity over her boyfriend. She didn't want her boyfriend to feel that way. And knowing that his boyfriend did have the potential to have a better paying job, what he only lacked was a proper education, Bernadette vowed to help Marcus in his financial needs just so he could go to school. Marcus couldn't be more thankful. He felt he was the luckiest man alive, having the most beautiful girlfriend and having her pay for his education. He promised Bernadette that once he was done with his degree, he would pay Bernadette back. So Marcus went to school while part-timing as a janitor in the same firm. That way, he and Bernadette would still meet every day. Despite their busy schedules, the couple made a way to make sure they would see each other often, and it worked. After 4 long years, Marcus finally graduated from college with a degree in business sciences, and with Bernadette by his side. Right after graduation, Marcus was accepted into a high-paying job. Because of his impressive credentials, he landed a job that would help him build a business as a side. He and Bernadette were hustling like crazy, and they were earning faster than lightning. They were happy. They almost had everything in life, except for one thing: marriage. When the couple realized this, they got married instantly. Now, Marcus and Bernadette are happily married, living a luxurious life. While Marcus is building a business of his own that is skyrocketing at a pace that even them never imagined. Their lives are going great, until Bernadette announces a huge news. She is pregnant. Their dream family is now finally complete. They take care of Bernadette's pregnancy because they really want their first baby to be born well. But taking care also means leaving her career behind and focusing on being a mother. Bernadette doesn't hesitate to leave everything she has worked hard for if it means her baby will be raised well. Since then, Bernadette has also started losing interest in her appearance. During their monthly date nights, Bernadette will go out sometimes just wearing sweatpants so she can be comfortable. Marcus notices this, but at first, he doesn't say a single word. Time passes by, and Bernadette gives birth to a baby boy. The baby has a lot of needs, especially in its first years. So Bernadette becomes a full-time stay-at-home mother, while Marcus busies himself on making his business even bigger. Bernadette forgets to focus on herself now, as the only person she focuses on is their child. Because of this, Bernadette's once glorious face and body becomes old-looking, pale, and filled with circles under her eyes. Her once golden locks of hair are always tied in a mess, like they aren't being washed. And every time Marcus comes home, he can't even make himself look at his wife because she grosses him out. "Ew, put some decent clothes on, honey," Marcus says as his wife welcomes her home. These words always cut her deep, but Bernadette will just smile at her husband and serve him dinner. "You know what? You look like a mess. Why can't you change back to the hot Bernadette I used to love?" Marcus says in an irritated tone. This catches Bernadette's attention while filling up his bowl of soup. "What do you mean? Are you saying that you don't love me now because I'm not sexy and pretty anymore?" asks Bernadette. "I still love you, but not the messy and fat you. I love the old you," replies Marcus. This sends a sharp tinge on her heart. "If you really love me, you'll love all faces of me. The fat me, the old and wrinkly me, all of me. If not, then maybe you were just in love with the idea of a hot girlfriend," she replies in between sobs. Instead of feeling pity for his wife, Marcus is enraged. He storms off and never comes back again. Devastated and left with an infant to raise without a career or a job, Bernadette struggles to get back to her feet. She calls her old manager, and thankfully, she is still in the same legal firm she used to work in. She gives Bernadette the same position she left 2 years ago, and Bernadette starts her career again, while juggling motherhood. Because of her lack of sleep and help, Bernadette loses weight, and that's when she thinks of the sweetest revenge. She starts hitting the gym to get back in shape again. She starts wearing makeup and rebuilding what she lost. After some time, she walks in a bright red dress paired with shiny black stilettos, holding a file of papers in her hand. She asks for Marcus inside his newly built office for his business. Once he gets out, he is dumbfounded to see how Bernadette is beautiful again, like how she was the first time they met. "I'm here to file for a divorce. And given that your business is legally named under me too, I'll own half of your business's earnings," Bernadette says with a smile. Marcus's world crashes. He can't believe that he forgot about his business's ownership. "You can't do this to me. I built this business from the ground up. Have you forgotten about that?" Marcus exclaims. But Bernadette still has her cunning smile on. "And have you forgotten that I paid for your entire college? So all of these, whatever you have now, I built this from the ground up," Bernadette says back, pointing towards Marcus and the whole office he just built. Without anything else to say back, Marcus just looks at her and apologizes. But Bernadette has been hurt too much to accept any apology from her ex-husband. She places the divorce papers onto Marcus's table and leaves. When Marcus opens the papers, he sees Bernadette's petition to own half of the company as per their title. He can't believe that he is losing everything he has worked hard for, and now his family and the woman he loved for years, just because he wanted someone new and beautiful. He lives to regret his decision his entire life. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll see you on the next.